Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode. We're just outside Kingston here, and it might look a little bit different from when you may remember it. So I've been a little bit busy offline, if you couldn't tell by the extra 10 billion that we now have in the bank. But I've been pretty much trying to, what would a word I use here be? Change the layout of Kingston. So the residential used to be on this side, so if we bring up the little hub here, the land use, the residential used to be on this side, industrial was mixed in with commercial over here, that was coming all through here, and it was basically not great for emissions, because emissions are affecting the residential only. So instead of having the trucks come through here and around that way, then you had the residential stuck between this line here and the train station here. Like if we look at the emissions, they weren't good. They weren't in a good spot. Now, well, they are still slightly in there. We might focus on maybe trying to push them out a bit further at a later time. But right now, they're in a much better position. Let's actually get this game moving here. Yeah, they're in a much better position now on the right hand side here. I've also diverted the truck, so you can see I've added a little station in here. So from the freight hub, the trucks will drive down here, drop off the goods here, and eventually we will have... they're dropping them off down here. So to avoid going over the crossing, doesn't really matter because the trains rarely come through here. It's only the main express train, which looks like we've got one coming in now. But they get delivered to here. And then from here, we'll be able to split this off into multiple different areas throughout the town. So that's the main update offline. I've not done this in only Kingston. I have started trying to focus that on Winchcombe a little bit as well. As you can see, I've got a nice little open spot here because the residential keeps growing back there. But yeah, so we want ideally the commercial to come down this way and the residential to stay out there. But to do that, I do need to keep expanding this, which is also another thing that I've done. We're making plenty of money, so I have gone to the player ownership and I've pretty much just ticked yes to all the roads. So the AI, which I'll get rid of this now, so the AI cannot build their own roads now and do wonky things in the city, like on our target for today, Looe. Now the target's not to actually fix up the city yet, although I think, yeah, I did turn everything on, so they can't keep expanding and building. But you might be able to see this little strip come through here. So we've got a design to actually get a freight station finally in here, which we're basically going to be plopping it straight in here. And the idea will be is, I think there is some residential on this side, which I'm not too concerned about. No, it's all over there. But yeah, we want that residential to stay out on this side and keep growing out towards the edge out here. And then this being the central already, we shouldn't need to have too much more deliveries happening. But the idea will be freight station there. We've got a little bit of grain here, and we've got machines here. And this machine factory requires silver and steel. Steel we've already got in the line. It's going to increase the demand, so we might need to get another steel factory. We'll see how we go there. But the main thing is that this is going to start taking silver. Now, where can we get silver from? We can get silver from back down here. So the idea will be is the freight station is going to bring the main freight line will come in, drop off the silver from all the way down here, drop it off at Staunton, switch over to the branch line coming down here, drop off the silver ore. Then it'll also pick up after trucks delivered over here, and then it'll also pick up the silver bars, and take that back up, drop it off here, pick up some grain, and it'll pick up eventually the machines as well, and bring them both up into Staunton. Grain will then be dropped off onto, we don't have one, but off to the wagons, since the wagons usually come in, and they actually drop off everything else they're carrying, which is this slag, is it? Is it slag? Yeah, the slag. They drop off the slag there, and then they're running half empty, technically, on the rest of the way back. So that grain will help fill up those coaches all the way to come down and drop them off here. Since this is currently running at pretty much full capacity and it wants to go. It wants to be delivering more. But it can't go any higher because we've only got 600 coming in at the moment, so. That being said, that's the plan. So, let me get the station in here with a quick time lapse and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so with that, I think we'll add just a couple more connections just to create a bit more connectivity here. So can we squeeze one on the right here? We can. Let's put it right at that entrance there. I think we'll adjust the site. I mean, the roads in this town are going to get adjusted anyway, and the heights and everything, so it's fine. But our connectivity is quite good. Alright, so that's the station in. Now I guess we'll focus on getting... Now I'm probably going to truck things out to here at the moment. So the only thing is, it's going to be running double up and single back. Meaning like if we were running 7 items or 8 items up, I'm only going to get 4 coming back. So I think trucks will probably be best there. In saying that, how do we want to do the roads here? I guess let's start with a little bit of flattening, hey? So that's sort of what we're working with. We'll smooth all this back out later. Now ideally, we do want the train to come straight through there. We don't want to have to like do sweeping turns or anything like that. The terrain shouldn't be too much of an issue. Might be a bit of burrowing going on potentially, but let's see. Let's go. Let's just start with that for now. Keep it flat. Go a little bit further. Now, if we were to take a cargo station, now what do we got? So we're gonna have steel coming down from here getting delivered, and that's everything gonna get delivered. Then we're gonna have. I'm trying to think how many trains we might have stopping here potentially. I think we might just run a mixed consist or 2. Yeah. The only one we won't have a mixed consist is probably the fuel line, I reckon. So the fuel line is just going to go straight from here, straight down here. It's going to be running empty one way anyway. Whereas this way, we're going to be running food and machines down and tools down. And then we're going to be taking machines back up for the rest of the way here too. Yeah. So in that case, we are needing a 3-lane, with probably a passing track or 2 in the middle. I reckon we'll go with a single passing track for now, and we may have to look at expanding that later. The single passing track in the middle will be for the fuel line when fuel becomes a demand. Now, next question is, where do we want to build this? I reckon probably about there would be ideal. Bit over a bit more. Alright, let's see if we can cut back this this road a little bit. So we'll just bring that back to there. That way we get a little bit closer over. We want to try and avoid where it's yeah, it's about there. Alright. So go with that. Alright. So we need, looks like this side's probably going to get demolished here, unfortunately. Oh, got lucky with that. This is the station we're going to be going with at the moment. So just, trains are going to be stopping here at all times, except when we get the fuel line on. Which the fuel line, I guess what we'll do is we'll actually that should be fine actually. Yeah, I think we'll get it done using that. Alright. Okay, so we want coming out can be slower. We don't want catenary, not yet. I've also got it running on 2x speed at the moment, just so we can get the time moving a bit quicker here. Get some more trains coming in. But anyway, so if we're going with out being slower, so then this side will be the main one coming out here. Now we want to get, we still got one more station build as well, which is over here too. Which I think we may just cram into the side here or side here. Kind of prefer it being on a more flatter, which that isn't exactly flatter, so let me pause this real quick. I want to just make this straighter. Then we'll do a little swiggle at the end there. But I should want that on permanently now. Put that down. Okay. Alright, so that being said, let's go ahead and make this another one too. Can we just make that 2 platforms from the start? I suppose we can. Alright. Let's have it right up against here, and then we can create just like that. Alright, so actually connectivity to everything there except here, which is fine for now. Just realised we do need to expand the station still as well. That's okay, it shouldn't be too hard to push this back. Alright. Let's see, if we were to just go straight into here, what do you look like? Honestly, that I'm okay with. Not much of a raise up there. And we can smooth that out a bit more as well. Alright, I'll take that. Then you're going to be coming out here and merging into this line. Let's do that at about 100 do? Yeah, 100 will be fine. Then we'll signal there and there. And you just come straight up and out. Into there. Alright, that's that side done. So, now we want the middle one here to be the quickest route. Is that right? Yes, it is correct. However, I missed one crucial point. So this middle track needs to be able to be passed from both trains, which means we need to put a little wiggle over here. Like that. There we go. So now, put that there. So now when the fuel train comes up here, it can go straight, and when it comes back down here, it can move on to the middle track again. I'm only planning on having hopefully one large train on it, and that should be fine, but we'll see where that takes us. Alright, now this one is going right. Now, out of curiosity, what height are we going down here? Obviously we're not going to cut straight through the mountain. Just doing this to get an idea of how high we have to start moving up and down. So we need roughly, probably that height. A little bit higher because we are curving around the mountain. And I'll start there, we can always back it off. Alright, so let's go over to here now. Middle track, middle track. That's the only problem is we might get a quick dip. Which is not too bad at the moment, so. Alright, let's start with about that. And let's get this moving. Okay, with that being completed, it's time to get the line in. And I think one other thing we need to do is we need to connect up a path to be able to get trains onto this line. And I'm thinking a little spur off the side here would be quite nice. Can I... can't snap a track onto the side of that yet. How about I do... Yeah, we should be able to have enough capacity on this, I think. Let's do that. New plane. Nice. Not using planes. And then we'll see if we can just kill that around something like that, maybe. Probably go a little bit sharper if we can. I'll keep it at 50. Something a little siding line after all, so. There we go. And you know what, for now, we will do it that way. It's a little bit easier to demolish rather than when you draw a line alongside of it, because it gets all weird. I've got one over here, don't I? Yeah, it just gets into small segments. Becomes a pain. Alright, so that is that connection there, and then we can just slip into that. And there we go. Beautiful. Now how do we connect it up here? Just do the same thing off here. Now, in reality, we should probably be creating also a way for this train to get back to the depot if it needed to. Which I guess technically it does have a way, but it'd have to go through all this oncoming traffic. I reckon that might be a problem for when we redo this section here, because we'll make a nice freight yard here eventually. Alright, with that, I think we're good to start putting trains on this line, so let's get a line created. So we're going to go from here. Where do we want this? Let's get a better colour than that. Let's go for a nice purple. Or magenta, whatever you want to call it. We want to stop on station number 2. And use number 1 if it's filled. Then you can stop. Yes, on that side. Beautiful. Then you can stop down here on that side. Nice. And use first platform if you need to. And on the way back, we also want you, just already going to the middle lane, that's nice, to stop there. Oh, no, no. Okay. Why do you have a problem with that? Okay. Don't know why I did that. But it's fixed. Alright. I guess let's have a quick look. So at Staunton Central, you will be unload all, that's fine. You will be loading construction materials. You will be loading tools. You will be loading not machines, you'll be loading bread. Eventually you'll be loading goods. What else am I missing here? Right. Machines and fuel, the other two, which will not be loaded from here. However, we will be loading also steel. Come on there. And we will be loading silver. Okay. So now we get to Staunton Transfer. Here, you will only be loading machines, ideally ones that are going down to load, not coming back, and you will unload steel. Yes, only steel. Just unless there's no mix-up on items and such. Low, you can unload everything, that's fine. Because the only thing that you should be loading back up is silver bars, if I'm correct. Yeah, there's nothing else coming back up here yet. So silver bars will come back up. And then Staunton transfer. You will be unloading silver bars only. And then you can load machines only. And back at Staunton Central, we'll leave it at that. Alright, so that should be that line done. Now, time for a train. I believe we should be able to get onto the track from here. We're going to find that out now. Let's start with the big boy here, but we're just not going to go all out on him. I reckon let's go with 4 of each and see how that starts. We're most definitely going to need more than that, I think, but I reckon it'll be a good start. No, let's go 5. Okay. Let's start with the boxcars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll go with the gondolas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then flat cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll buy that. And we'll pop you onto the line. Okay. So that is this line essentially replaced. This has got access to the tools. Doesn't have access to this yet, which it doesn't need it. No, it does need it actually, it does. That's okay at the moment. Staunton does accept machines, but we don't have the machines on yet. Alright, we want to make a connection here, so we can get... Ooh, we didn't actually count that, did we? Manage line, Staunton transfer. We also want to pick up grain. Now let's go here and be straight across like that. And then we'll just curve that into here. And that should activate this. Yep, there we go. Next up, let's actually go down here. What are you going to start with? You're going to be straight to 600. Alright. And I think the line's already set up as well, isn't it? Yes. Let's go ahead and go steam. Another one of you guys. And I think we're at a 160 limit here. So we'll start with that. And go on the silver ore. It's not going to start picking up anything yet because we haven't completed the line. Actually, do we have... Where's our hopper wagons here? Kingston. We're going to need to increase the rate on these guys as well. Yes. You will pick up silver. You're not picking up grain. That's right. So I didn't want to pick up grain from here. So, let's go down to here. So we need to actually create now a truck station that's going to come from the station out to the silver mine. So let's have a look to see how we will do that. Do we just... I can never get those on the right side. Do something like that, maybe? There we go. Let's just smooth that real quick. Alright. You know, I wouldn't mind going underneath that if I can. Alright, that's the station set up on this side. Now, where are we going to go into from the city here? And I think we take that spot about there. keep in mind we're going to need to add storage onto this as well. So I reckon we start with that. We should be get some storage around that. It is connected to the station at the moment. I do want to put a little road on that side. It should connect, yes, once we get rid of the truck stop. Let's actually get rid of that now and move that over to here. Just so we can complete what I want to do there. Alright, let's get that back to playing. Now we want to go new line. From here up to there. And let's give that, it's not a bad card for silver, but let's go with a nice blue. Okay. Low branch. Yeah, stop at number 1, use number, sorry, stop at number 2, use number 1 if you have to. And over here, stop at 2 and use number 1 if you have to. Now I shouldn't have to, it should all be fine, but just in case, this is low north, so you will only load silver bars and you will only unload silver ore. And then the opposite on this side, so you will only load silver ore or not. Oh, there you are. And you will unload silver bars just in case. Now to activate this line, let's just grab you for now, and you can go straight to line 4. And that should be the silver line active. Perfect. And our first silver's on the way. Alright, well that is good news. I think that's everything we need for machines, to be honest. Obviously we need to still hook it up. So yeah, let's see if we can finish it off real quick now. And that should activate you, which it looks like it has. And down here should activate you as well, which it has not yet. There it goes. Alright, perfect. Well, that's the line all set up. So that's probably going to be it for this episode. We do have a lot more in store to do still. One of them I just realized we actually ticked off was getting more grain onto the line for the plastics, so we've just done that. But we need to upgrade the freight station here in Staunton. We need to do some more quad tracking because there's still some sections where the passenger train and the freight trains are obviously not colliding, but they're getting stuck in each other's ways. And I think we just need to keep working on the towns. Looe needs gonna need to redesign next, so let me know if you're so interested in seeing on how that is done. But otherwise, yeah, we've finally got a proper freight train to go into Looe, which already has a full load. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the support that I'm getting. Any suggestions, please do let me know. Otherwise, consider liking and subscribing. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next episode. and take care.